purchased myself a Zancudo from ESEE. There it is. As you can see, I've already monkeyed with the sheath, put a tech lock on it. The sheath is the subject of today's video. I like the material. I've always loved their sheaths. They're fun to modify. You can do whatever the heck you want with them with very few tools. However, unlike the sheath that comes with the Izula and the Izula 2, which I conveniently located way over here, this knife is held into the sheath. It's retained by the sheath with the plastic going around the handle. The Izula is retained by two little nubs inside that slot on the blade. So relatively easy to take out and put back in. The newer ones are a little stiffer than the old version, but you can always go inside that sheath and take care of that little nub and its partner over there, file them down, and the knife will coast in and out of the sheath. Or you can just do this a couple hundred times, and that will also wear that down. But you can also just cut it out. Well, when I first got this beauty, and let me tell you, if you don't have one of these, you need one. I love it. It's not even going to be a review about this knife. I just love this knife. It's a little bit bigger than the Izula 2, and it's got just about as much handle as the ESEE 3. Freaky knife. Love it. Looking forward to some folks coming out with aftermarket handle material, but you know, the only thing I don't like really is the color, but if you drop this, you're going to find it. But it has a great texture. So, I went to take this knife out of the sheath and struggled with it. When I put the clip on and put it on my belt, and I went to take the knife out of the, and my belt and my pants went almost all the way up to my armpit. The knife did not want to come out. I know you can do this with your thumb, but see, I'm used to the Izula 2. So I got the knife out. Then it was time to put the knife back in, and I almost shoved my pants right down to my knees because it didn't want to go back in. You may experience that same problem. It doesn't have the nubs like the Izula 2. Like I said, it's held in by the handles. It folds over the handle. So there's this little bit of a relief here that spreads out when you pull the knife out. Well, you may notice that my relief is way down. Now my knife comes out easily. So, Tom, how did you do that? That's a great question. There's really two ways to do it. And a knife is not one of the ways, but an accessory on a knife is the way. What I used was a Swiss Army knife saw. And I stuck it in the slot and I started sawing. And I'd go down 1/8 of an inch, try the knife, no good. Down a little further, no good. Down a little further, no good. I've learned that you go slowly, taking a little bit of material away and trying, rather than just going hog wild, going 1 inch and then realizing, oh crap, I went too far, and now your knife is just going to fall out. So for reference, you can see where my slot ends if you wanted to do the same thing. It still retains the knife beautifully. It's just you don't have to fight to get it out. Now I understand if you're going to be wearing it as a necker or on a backpack or something like that, you really want it to be retained. I'm not one of the search and rescue guys. So I just want it to be an EDC where I can go click, do something, pop, put it back in. If you do not have a Swiss Army knife, shame on you. But there is an alternative, a small hacksaw blade. So just get the hacksaw blade in there, start cutting until you're at a point where the knife goes in and comes out at a tension that you are happy with. I would like to thank ESEE for making this knife. It's fantastic. And I do know that it is S35VN, so you can put that in the comments and say, hey Tom, I know that you really hate S35VN, and yes I did, and that was because of Chris Reeve knives. These guys actually heat treat the knife perfectly, whereas I think Chris Reeve doesn't even really heat treat. I think they put them on the dashboard of a pickup truck and just let them warm up. I know they farm the heat treat out. Whoever is doing it, thank you. You're doing a hell of a job. You've got the recipe right. You're cooking it perfectly. Keep cooking it that way. If you do not have one of these knives, again, I strongly recommend it. I might do a review of it someday, but I have used this a lot. And this poor knife has been sitting around going, what about me? Sorry. This will do everything. That's it. See you on the next one.